So wait, you're telling me that there's an actual card game to Pokemon? I thought I was just collecting shiny cardboard that looked good. Huh, that's interesting. Oh, hello there. Funny seeing you here. Don't mind me. I'm just sitting in my castle on my big throne of Pokemon cards that I have in my collection. Yeah, it's a pretty massive throne. Have you seen Nostalgianomics? His is tiny compared to mine. He can suck it. Well, today, I wanted to kind of talk about the business and how we run things here at PokemartUSA. Let's just say that we're going to really get to the bulk of the operation in today's video. Welcome to our bulk operation. Here at PokemartUSA, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a behind the scenes on two of our different operations. So in this video, we're going to be talking about one of our operations, which is bulk, and how we like to go about processing and selling it all. I think that when it comes to any business, the most important thing that you should always prioritize is efficiency. And so we chose the approach of running things through an assembly line system, as we found it to be the fastest way when it came to processing bulk as well as shipping it. Starting off with the first segment of the assembly line system, we have our packaging table. So basically, once we have received bulk product from our distributors or suppliers, we will then unpackage all of the bulk cards, spread them out on this table here, and then we will begin to feed it into our machines. The first machine in which we are going to be having a conversation about today is going to be the Fizz Batch 9000. Now, what makes this machine so great is it is an extremely efficient and fast machine when it comes to sifting. So if you want to basically find a specific value of a card that you only want to sell of a certain price point or higher, if you want to alphabetize certain cards in a certain fashion, or let's say you want to take Pokemon typings and you want to put them in each of these different trays, the Fizz Batch is going to be extremely good at doing that at a really fast speed. Typically, it can go up to 100 cards per minute when shooting it through the machine. You'll take your cards, put it up in what's called the hopper here. It will then spit it out into one of these different input trays. The main one is the first one, which this is used for the rejection bin. So anything that gets rejected goes into here. And then you have the remaining 2 through 13 trays, which what we have found to be the best is we use it for pre-sorting by alphabetically. What I mean by pre-sorting is we have our second machine, and that is going to be the Roka. Now, we've been using the Roka now for almost a full year. I want to say about 8 or 9 months. This thing is absolutely awesome when it comes to fully alphabetizing cards. When taking a look at the inside of it, you can see that it has 40 input trays as well as a suction cup system. So the main reasoning for this is when you're using the Fizz Batch, it's going to be extremely fast at going through and sifting out certain cards with certain types in a singular fashion, versus with the Roka operation, it is going to use the suction cups to then transfer over in multiple different typings, right? So if I want to basically take all those cards, which I just organized in the Fizz Batch from, let's say within the first tray, it is going to be all cards that are going to be A, B, then C, D, and you get it, etc., etc. I can then take all of those cards out after we've gotten, let's say, a 1,000 count, because that's how many can be sorted at a time in the Roka. We'll then transfer that over here, put it in one of the input trays, put it in, and then from there, it will take all the cards that were A and B that were spit into the Fizz Batch, and it will properly organize them alphabetically. You might say to yourself, well, Eli, they're already alphabetized because it's putting all the A's and the B's. Well, what we've learned is that there are a lot of different types of A's and there's a lot of different types of B's. And so before, when we were just using the Roka operation, we would just take a pile of 1,000 cards of a specific set, we would put it into the machine, and then A through Z, we would pull it out and we would sort it into our boxes. Now, although it's great, it's an efficient way of going about doing things, and the machine itself is fantastic at it, we found out that pre-sorting allowed us to increase the amount of efficiency when it came to the times of sorting it into the box. Because rather than going through and sorting all the cards that are A through Z, which you may have 20 different A cards that you have only one of that you're sorting into the box, and then 20 different B cards that you're sorting into the inventory box, right? And so on and so forth. Instead, we just pre-sorted, used all the cards that were A's and B's, put them into the Roka, and then from there, it would, instead of having one copy of 20 of each, and then you do that for all the letters of the alphabet, it would just be 2 letters of the alphabet, and you would have like 50 plus copies of each, making it so that every single time we wanted to sort things into our inventory, it would, instead of taking anywhere between 45 minutes to an hour plus, it would take us 5-10 minutes, and maybe on the longer end 20 to 25 minutes, because some letters there's a lot more variations than others. Once everything has been sorted through the Roka, you will then get a CSV file which you can use to upload into your inventory system with TCG Player, which is what it's integrated with. I think if you're going to be selling bulk or just doing a bulk operation, doesn't matter if you have machines or not, I think TCG Player is the way to go. Once the inventory has been added, we begin the selling process. So typically you're going to have 2 different main methods. There's a bunch of other systems and there's a bunch of different programs that TCG Player has, but we won't really go into it. We're just going to talk about 2 different ones. That's going to be the direct program, and that's going to just be the standard envelope ship. So we won't touch on the direct program too much, but if you haven't unlocked the direct program by becoming a level 4 seller, then everyone is required to ship their cards by envelope. Now, this is both a good and a bad thing, because when it comes to the direct program, you're going to have a lot higher fees, but you're going to be able to ship everything directly to them, and they're not going to require you to have to ship out to 100 different customers and 100 different envelopes, which takes a lot of time. And with that, you're still, while running the direct program, going to get envelope orders, right? Or if you're not in the direct program, you're obviously required to use envelope orders. And so what we found to be an extremely efficient method of speeding up the process is a lot of people will print out the invoices, which at the top will have the address of the individual in which you are shipping to. With that, people will cut off the top of the address, and then they will tape it to the front of the envelope. I think that takes way too long, and by our process method and how we've changed it, it definitely has increased efficiency drastically. So what we will do instead is we will take one of the invoices that we have printed out from our printer, and then we will put it in this nice paper folding machine. So you'll just, with one click of a button, click it, it'll spit it through the feeder, and then it will go into the tray where you will see the printed invoice. And with that, it allows us to just take the printed invoice now that is nicely folded, put it into an envelope, and then from there you can take the cards that you pulled out of the picking process with our inventory and then put it in all nice and clean. And then we usually tape the cardboard protector to the back of the envelope. That way things won't move around too much. And then we just continue to rinse and repeat the system itself. So that was just a little bit of a glimpse of our operation, although there's a lot more to really discuss. I think the main purpose of this video is I've had a lot of people ask me questions about how our business operates, how we do the volume that we do at over $2 million for the year of 2023. And this is being a large part and parcel for that. We do several 100,000 cards sales a month. So we have an extremely high volume, well over $20,000 in general process sales just off of the bulk operation, not even the other operation that we're going to talk about in a separate video. And so we have been able to become extremely successful for this reason, using the machines that we have. And ultimately, I think that you too could be extremely successful without having the machines. We have a lot of people within our wholesale program that have been able to take advantage of a lot of the available supply and inventory of products, such as discounted rates on, build and battle stadiums. I mean, we just had a flash sale where they were selling them for $24 a piece. A lot of commander decks where, regardless of whether you're into Magic or not, a lot of us can agree that we're all into making money, and finding ways to do so through Magic has been extremely profitable for a lot of people, where we had 40+% returns on breaking down specific commander decks and other items. And so it's not that difficult. The barrier for entry is super duper low. And if you're someone that's not even a part of the wholesale program, although there's tons of opportunities with that to be able to get your own supply, you can easily be someone that sources your own supply when you go to buy local collections, whether it be on Facebook Marketplace, whether it be through just buying general bulk on TCG Player with bulk buy lists. There's so many different ways in which you're able to acquire supply and ultimately start your own bulk operation. We'll be talking about it more in a little bit of a video. I'll be going through where I buy a lot of my supplies, how I like specific setups when it comes to making things more efficient, and then everyone's burning question, the way in which we like to package our product the fastest. I talked about it a little bit when it comes to using windowed envelopes, but there's so much more that goes into it. But we're just going to wrap it up for here. Hopefully you guys found this video informative. Until then, I'll see you on the next video.